In today's video, we're going to be going over the different types of RPOs and how to know exactly what each of them entails. A lot of players don't understand the difference between reads and peaks and alerts, and that's going to be my job in today's video, is to help you guys understand exactly what type of RPO to call based off of what you want to do with a play. So when you guys are in your play call menu, I'd like you guys to go all the way over to play type. You're going to scroll down until you find RPO. You'll then see a menu pop up for your left and right bumpers to tap between. It's going to say read, peak, alert. Some other playbooks will have other types as well, but these are the general rules as it pertains to the styles of RPO and what you're going to be able to do. Simply put, anything that is an RPO read is going to be something that your quarterback can run on. So let's go ahead and take the field here with the gun deuce close and the RPO read flat wheel. So with this particular RPO, we can kind of key in on one of two players, or if you're really advanced, you can key in on both at the same time. These are going to be the R icon or the read man, and then the P icon or the pass read. So for this, the R icon is going to be read based off of how your opponent has their option defense selected. So in this case, we've got option quarterback or option running back. If they choose to option the running back, you're going to see the R icon crash, which is going to mean that we could, if we wanted to, scramble with our quarterback because they did not keep contained. The one thing that you want to be careful with this is that you don't take an unnecessary hit with your quarterback. You always want to protect the football. Now with this as well, they might say, let's play option quarterback, in which case the R icon will stand up. If you want to use this as just a run or a pass situation, you can read that player, and when he stays home, go ahead and press the A button to give the ball to the running back and try to take it around end. This doesn't necessarily mean that you'll automatically pick up yardage. A lot of it comes down to what type of gap fits your opponent is playing. So you'll see certain defensive shells play this better than others. But again, you're going to read this player constantly and try to make this happen out in the perimeter. Now, the thing is, again, depending on the coverage they call, they might be able to contain the scramble as well, which is why we still have the P icon on this play. Okay, so this is a player that is on the field that you can read at any point in time, and if he commits to the pass, you're going to be able to pop the throw over their head. Now, doesn't necessarily mean that they will. There are certain defenses, in particular your man defenses, that will hang out on that player. A lot of times in zone, however, with the eyes on the quarterback, they may read this as a run play and bite up, which is going to allow us to throw the ball in behind of that player. Now, again, depending on what the linebackers are doing on that play, that may not be the best decision either. So make sure that you're paying attention as well to the interior defenders, because just because the P icon bites out on the run portion of this doesn't mean that you can just throw the post on this play. You may actually want to throw the ball out to the perimeter. If you see that icon bite down, go ahead and throw the ball out over his head on this wheel route, for instance, on this play. This is what makes this particular play the best RPO in Madden 24. So this is in general how you do read style RPOs. There's a bunch of different styles of read RPO, not just the read flat wheel, which is found in the Kansas City playbook, which, by the way, if you guys haven't checked out my Kansas City game plan on my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg, make sure you guys do so. Head over to the website. $9.95 a month unlocks the entire website. That is 4 offensive and defensive game plans. We've got Goose's U-Trips, my Kansas City offense, 2 defensive game plans, but most importantly, that Kansas City offense is going to change the way you guys play Madden 24. I've got the rocket catch system and the freeform seminars completely built out on there. You guys can use those videos in any offense you want, or apply them in my Kansas City offense for the purpose of running this RPO and spread option style offense. It is arguably the most fun project I have ever launched in a Madden. So definitely go check it out. And we also have the vault in our lab sessions in the Discord. And it's only $9.95. Go take a look. The link is in the description. Now, the next style of RPO is going to be a peak style RPO. And we're actually going to kind of lump in alerts with this as well. These are RPOs where your quarterback cannot run the ball. If you do not throw the ball to a receiver, the running back will take the ball from the quarterback at all times. Now, different types of peak RPOs can be useful, but the problem is the user is the player that is in the middle of the field traditionally. So when you read these, you're going to see that there's a P icon over the top of a linebacker. If that's an AI linebacker and he were to kind of bite up, you would go ahead and throw the ball behind him into that slant. However, there's going to be a lot of cases where that's simply not going to happen, and you're not going to be able to do so. So make sure that you go ahead and run these RPOs effectively up the middle if you can. Just read that linebacker. Again, it's going to come down to what they do. Now, if the user is this player, you could actually kind of just RPO off of him. So if you see that they're kind of like hanging out here and then the ball snapped and they bite up, go ahead and, throw the ball out to either the flat or over the middle on these. Again, it's going to be up to you. It does take the ball from the quarterback pretty quickly. So if you're going to throw it, get it out quickly. But I will tell you that some of these RPOs that are actually pretty darn good are the ones that have hitches in them. So if you were to actually take a look at this flex Y off close RPO zone alert, and we were facing a cover 0 or a cover 1, I actually really like to throw the ball out against this because they stop and it's a free 7 yards. So yeah, I mean, if they're in press coverage, you'll be able to definitely throw the ball over the top with the beat press animation. If they're playing off coverage, get the ball out to the hitch. I mean, it's stealing. A lot of man coverage on the outside, that's off style man coverage, will kind of give these throws underneath, which is really nice. And you'll be able to kind of just pepper them to the perimeter. So you can kind of steal. The one thing that you do want to be careful with on this is that if it is zone, sometimes that player that is, the flat defender over the slot might bite out, in which case you would end up trying to throw this hitch to the inside. So make sure that you're reading whether or not it's man or zone, and you're not just automatically throwing it, because the last thing I want you guys to do is do something that looks like basically this, and then you just get picked. That right there was dangerous. You can't live on that type of throw. Nonetheless, whatever the style of RPO is, you're going to be able to throw the ball out to the perimeter or take the handoff up the middle if you don't press a button and just take the yardage as you normally would. Some of these RPOs are inside zone style RPOs. Some of them are outside zone style RPOs. So depending on the front, you may have success running the inside zone or the outside zone. You see right here, we're able to pick up more yards against the pinch line. But again, they're not all the same run scheme. So as you go back into your RPOs, you can take a look at the different types of run schemes. You see that this RPO zone alert's more inside zone. This gun normal off close weak RPO zone peak is more of an outside zone style RPO. So if you don't know what an outside zone is, that is basically a version of stretch. A lot of you are comfortable with the word stretch from under center. This is basically what this would be. So, with these, you're going to be running the ball out to the perimeter, outside zone-based blocking scheme. Now, again, run fits and things like that still matter. You can't just spam these runs. You have to still kind of have an idea of what's going on. If they're packing the box, you're probably not going to run on it. But if they go too high on you, you very well might. You might go ahead and run this and take your yardage. You see right there, that was a gain of 7 on that. So understanding what type of run scheme you're tagging your RPO with is still very, very important. Don't just choose an RPO because of the route. Choose it also because of the run scheme. And then, of course, our last style of RPO is the alert bubble, or the alert in general. With these types of plays, once again, we are talking about sight pre-snap adjustments. Again, here with this, if we're dealing with an RPO alert bubble, you may see that you have the ability to kind of throw these balls out wide and pick up a block. I do find, just for the record, that the RPO alert style bubbles actually block better than the read style bubbles. For whatever reason, that slot receiver seems to have a little bit more of a brain in his head. And you see that we're able to throw that ball out to the perimeter. So if you guys do want to throw some bubble screens out there, I would actually recommend, especially if they're in drop zone coverage or just basically basic coverage assignments, you might be able to get away with these style of RPOs better in terms of, the success rate of the blocker on the outside. But again, there is no reading anybody on this. I will say, though, that if your opponent is in the habit of doing some pretty heavy blitzing, a lot of people like to send their slot corners out of like dollar and, those styles of defense. If you catch them doing that, where they're kind of creeping these guys in and they're telling you, hey, I want to send these slot corners and stop the run, these are great opportunities for you to go ahead and get these bubble screens out to the perimeter because, they're out leveraging themselves with their pre-snap look, or just even blitzing that slot corner is going to give you a numbers advantage. You're basically one-on-one to the perimeter. You see right here, we can get a block on a cloud flat corner and a DB sting 2 and get the ball out pretty effectively. So there you guys have it. This is how all the different RPOs work in Madden. Obviously, every playbook kind of has its own brand of RPO style. So make sure you guys check out in your playbook. If you guys want to run my playbook, again, it's on gridirongameplans.gg, the Kansas City game plan. Check out the rocket catching and the freeform seminars. It will change your life in Madden 24. I promise you. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below. We'll see you guys once again on Monday with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.